There's a unique sense of violation people feel when they learn that nude or sexual photos of them have been posted, real or doctored, on the internet without their permission. This is called revenge porn, and tens of thousands of people have been the victims of it. The impact is profound. Some experts compare the psychological trauma to that experienced by sexual assault survivors. It doesn't matter if you've never posed nude, because AI now makes it easy to upload your likeness and generate some deep fake photos with you as the star. The issue was so serious that it's gotten the attention of congressional lawmakers from both sides of the aisle. But it was one Texas teenager's story that really set things in motion. Elliston Berry was 14 years old when a classmate took a picture of her off of Snapchat and then used a computer program to create a nude photo of her. Snapchat then refused to remove the deep fakes for nearly a year. Elliston has since become an advocate for the Take It Down Act, sponsored by her Senator Ted Cruz. First Lady Melania Trump championed the bill and invited Elliston to be her guest at the president's State of the Union address to the joint session of Congress in March. And today, Elliston was in the Rose Garden as President Trump signed the Take It Down Act into law.
With the rise of AI image generation, countless women have been harassed with deepfakes and other explicit images distributed against their will. This is the wrong, and it's just so horribly wrong. And it's a very abusive situation, like in some cases people have never seen before. And today we're making it totally illegal.
Now, the law criminalizes revenge porn, including non-consensual, deep-fake, intimate photos. It carries a punishment of up to 3 years in prison, and notably, it penalizes social media companies that don't take the photos down within 48 hours of a victim's request. Joining us now is Florida Republican Congresswoman Maria Salazar, who introduced the Take It Down Act in the House and was at the signing in the White House garden today. Congresswoman, congratulations on your bill becoming law this afternoon. Yeah. You posted today that victims of deep fakes will finally have real protection and big tech will finally be held accountable. And it's really something because Snapchat refused for a year to take down those fake nude photos of Elliston Berry. No more.
Yeah, that is correct. No more. And thank you for the opportunity. Today is a very big day for parents in America. Thank God that Congress, we did our job. And specifically for parents of young females, because those are the victims. And could you imagine the embarrassment that we've had all throughout these years? But right now, only 48 hours before the victim calls the big tech, and they have to bring it down during that time. It's a very happy day, and we're delighted that we were able to do something good for our kids.
There are real penalties attached here. People who violate this law face not only penalties but prison time. What are the penalties for big tech companies if they don't take these deep fakes down within 48 hours?
Well, big fines, but I'm sure that big tech, it's right now very aware of what we've done. It's a very big law. And specifically the fact that the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, is the wind behind the sails. We have to give her a lot of credit because this bill passed last cycle. It was lingering in Congress, but she came to the scene, and definitely we responded to her energy and to her enthusiasm. I mean, it's just common sense that we need to tell big tech. Apparently, they didn't want to listen to the victims before. The victims did not have any type of recourse. They would call the police, or the school would call the big tech, or the parents would call big tech. And like you said, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, no one really paid attention. But right now, it's federal law. Is the first time that Congress steps in, and we are putting some guardrails on social media and big tech. And this is exactly what we needed to do. Yeah. Protect our children. Let's start with that. Protect our kids.
And you really do credit the First Lady with helping to bring this issue to the forefront. I mean, you know, this is a very rare public appearance that she made today. Her first solo public appearance was actually to come out and champion this bill. How important was her support in getting this passed so overwhelmingly, not only in Congress, but in the Senate as well?
Oh, overwhelmingly, of biblical proportions. because we understood, like you said, that she does not embrace that many causes, but whenever she gets involved, she really means it, and she was instrumental, specifically in talking to her husband, the President of the United States, in talking to us, to Mike Johnson, and we were right there, because, listen, it was a bipartisan bill. It's common, I repeat, it's common sense. How are you not going to, if you're a legislator, and you're in this building, you're not going to help victims who are telling us, the mother, the schools, the parents telling us, my child, a fellow schoolmate is just trying to, for whatever reason, is using her likeness, her image, her voice, and these pornographic images do not belong to my child. And could you imagine how impotent you feel that no one is paying attention to you?
Right.
Well, now big tech has
this massive company won't take it down. Deepfake porn has really exploded with the advent of AI. But this bill still relies on the victim knowing that this has happened to them and reporting it. How often does this happen and the victim doesn't even know?
Well, it takes few hours because, you know, when you're in high school or in mid-school or when you're in school specifically, not in college, but when you're in high school, everyone talks, and you will know immediately. Maybe it'll take you a day or 2 days, but you will know that that's your face, but that's not your body, and that someone wanted to do this despicable act against you. So right now is not only the guy who, like I said here, is not only the one who created it, who shared it, and who hosted and posted it, you are going to jail as well. So there's not only big tech, is those kids who want to damage their female friends. There are consequences for you as well. You're going to jail, so don't try it. Don't try it starting today.
Congresswoman Salazar, great warning to anybody thinking that might be a great way to get back at somebody. You're going to pay a big price if you do. Appreciate you being here.
Big price.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.